Be me, 22-year-old KHV loser with unrealistic standards. Live in apartment complex next to sweet girl named Emma. Emma is simple, wholesome type who bakes cookies and says good morning. Always tries to make conversation when we bump into each other. Brings me homemade soup when I'm sick and never asks for anything back. But my gooner brain only fantasizes about goth dommy mommies from corn videos. Spent too many years rotting online consuming dark aesthetic content. Brain completely rewired to only find pale goth girls attractive. Emma is blonde, sunshine type, which does absolutely nothing for me. That feel when real kindness can't compete with digital fantasies. Been single for entire life because I reject reality for fiction. One day, walking to convenience store for energy drinks and tendies, see absolute goddess standing outside Hot Topic looking lost. Pale skin, black hair, dark lipstick, fishnets, under ripped jeans, exactly like the goth girls from my favorite corn videos. Come to life. Heart starts beating faster than during boss fights. She notices me staring and actually makes eye contact. Excuse me, do you know where the Starbucks is around here? Voice is soft and mysterious with slight raspy quality. Brain immediately goes into maximum autism mode. Yeah, it's down that way past the GameStop. She smiles and thanks me, calls me cute. My face. When Dream Girl just called me cute in public. Spend next 3 days thinking about this interaction non-stop. Emma knocks on my door with freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. Hey, Anon thought you might like these, I made extra. Barely acknowledge her because I'm still thinking about Goth Goddess. Thanks, Emma, gotta go busy day. And closed door in her face. See the hurt expression, but my brain is elsewhere. A few days later, run into Goth Girl again at same mall. She's sitting alone at food court, looking bored on her phone. Summon every ounce of courage and approach her table. Hey, you're the girl who asked about Starbucks, right? She looks up and recognition flashes across her face. Oh, hey, cute guy from the other day, what's up? Ask if I can sit, and she says sure. Learn her name is Raven, which is obviously perfect. Tells me she just moved here for college, studying art or something. Everything about her screams main character energy. Black nail polish, choker, boots, the whole aesthetic package. We talk for hours about music, movies, general edgy topics. She mentions loving bands I've never heard of, but pretend to know. Asks for my number, and I nearly drop my phone typing it in. That feel when Goth GF actually wants to hang out again. Text constantly over next few days, building up chemistry. She sends me photos of her outfits, and they're pure goth perfection. Finally ask her on proper date, and she says yes immediately. Spend entire week planning the perfect dark romantic evening. Take her to art gallery opening with lots of abstract depressing pieces. She seems really into it, commenting on the emotional depth. Everything going perfectly until we stop for coffee afterward. Walk into Starbucks and she immediately perks up. Oh my god, they have pumpkin spice lattes. Can I get one? Slight red flag, but maybe she just likes seasonal flavors. Barista asks for name and she says it's Madison actually. Wait, what happened to Raven? Oh, Raven is just my stage name. Madison is my real name. Weird, but whatever, artists have stage names all the time. Date continues and we end up back at her place. Apartment is surprisingly normal, with minimal goth aesthetic. Lots of pastel colors and basic decorations. Sorry, it's kind of messy. I'm still decorating. Maybe she just moved in recently. Makes sense. We watch some horror movies and she keeps checking her phone. Every time something scary happens, she giggles instead of being into it. Start noticing she doesn't really know much about goth culture. Mentions loving My Chemical Romance, but calls them screamo. Ask about her favorite Bauhaus song and she looks confused. Oh, I don't really listen to like old stuff. Red flags starting to multiply, but she's so hot I ignore them. Few weeks into relationship, things are going great physically, but conversations feel increasingly surface level. She never wants to discuss deeper topics about existentialism or darkness. Prefers talking about social media and influencer drama. One day suggests going to actual goth club downtown. Oh, that sounds super dark and scary. Maybe we could go to normal club instead. Starting to suspect something but still in denial. Emma sees me coming home from another date looking confused. Hey, Anon, you seem stressed lately. Everything okay? Just dating stuff. Emma, nothing major. Well, if you ever want to talk, I'm here. I care about you. Brush her off again because I'm obsessing over Madison's situation. Next week. Madison suggests we go shopping together. She wants to hit up all the mainstream stores first. Watch in horror as she picks out bright-colored clothing. I'm thinking of switching up my style. It's getting boring. My heart sinks, but I pretend to be supportive. We end up in Hot Topic and she seems uncomfortable. This stuff is so expensive for what it is. Starts looking at phone cases instead of actual goth merchandise. Ask her about her favorite goth bands again. Oh, just like the normal ones everyone likes. Cannot name a single band when pressed for specifics. Reality starting to crash down around me. Week later, she posts Instagram story at sorority mixer, wearing pink dress with full makeup, looking completely different. Surrounded by basic blonde girls doing typical sorority poses. Caption says, "Missing my girls Alpha Delta Pi forever." My brain stops processing information correctly. Call her immediately, demanding explanation. Oh, Anon, I can explain, that was just a theme party. Madison, you're literally wearing sorority letters. Okay, fine. I might have been in a sorority, but that's behind me now. Ask how long she's been into goth culture. Long pause before she admits. It's been about 2 months. I saw this aesthetic on social media and thought it looked cool. My entire world collapses in real time. So you're not actually goth, you're just cosplaying. Anon, don't be dramatic. I genuinely like the look. But that you don't know any of the music or culture or philosophy. Why does that matter if I look the part? Explain that it matters because it's not authentic. She gets defensive and says I'm being gatekeepy. I thought you liked me for me, not just my clothes. Realize I literally only liked her for her clothes and aesthetic. Have no idea who she actually is as a person. Relationship falls apart over next few days. She goes back to posting sorority content on social media. Blonde hair, pink outfits, the whole basic transformation. See her around campus looking completely different. Acts like she doesn't even know me when we pass each other. Back to being alone and realizing I never had real connection. Just projected my corn fantasies onto random girl. Emma notices I've been moping around apartment complex. Anon, you've seemed really down lately. What happened? Just girl troubles, Emma. Nothing you'd understand. Try me. I'm a good listener. Almost tell her everything but stop myself. How do I explain I only liked someone for their fake aesthetic? A few weeks pass and I'm still processing the whole experience. Realize I've been chasing fantasy instead of reality my whole life. Emma continues being kind despite me constantly dismissing her. Brings me coffee when she sees me struggling with groceries. Asks about my day and actually listens to the answers. Never judges me for being awkward or antisocial. Start noticing little things about her I ignored before. Way she smiles when she sees me in the hallway. How she remembers details about things I mentioned weeks ago. Genuine concern in her voice when she asks how I'm doing. But my brain still can't rewire itself to appreciate normal kindness. Too many years of conditioning from digital content. One evening sitting on the bench outside apartment complex. Feeling completely empty after another failed dating app interaction. Been trying to find another goth girl, but they're all fake too. Or actually goth and want nothing to do with posers like me. Contemplating how I've ruined my chances with real connection. Emma appears beside bench, carrying plate of homemade cookies. Mind if I sit here, Anon? You look like you could use company. Nod without making eye contact. She sits down and offers me cookie. Chocolate chip, your favorite, right? She remembered from months ago when I mentioned it once. Take cookie, and we sit in comfortable silence for a few minutes. You know, Anon, I've been worried about you lately. You don't have to worry about me, Emma. I'm fine. You don't seem fine. You seem really sad. Look over at her and see genuine concern in her eyes. Not fake Instagram concern, but real human empathy. I just made some stupid choices, Emma. Nothing major. We all make stupid choices sometimes. That's how we learn. She's being so patient and kind despite me treating her poorly. Realize I've been absolute fool chasing shadows while ignoring sunlight. But also know my brain is too broken to change now. Emma, why are you always so nice to me? Because I care about you, Anon, even when you don't care about yourself. Her words hit different than anything Madison ever said. Madison never asked how I was feeling or noticed my moods. Emma has been paying attention to me for months without expecting anything. We sit there eating cookies as sun starts setting. Perfect golden hour, lighting, making everything peaceful. Emma looks beautiful in a natural way. I trained myself not to see, but part of my brain still craves the artificial darkness. Anon, do you want to talk about what's bothering you? Look at her kind face and realize this is crossroads moment. Could open up to someone who actually cares about me, or continue chasing fantasies that lead nowhere. Cookie tastes better than any expensive coffee shop treat. Emma waits patiently, not pressuring me to respond. The question hangs in the air between us. Be me 23-year-old. Neat, living with female roommate Nicole. Thought sharing apartment would be chill and split the bills, before you guys call it fake and gay. I desperately needed the rent money. Biggest mistake since the NGE live action rumors started circulating. Nicole is one of those psychology major femoids who thinks she can fix everyone. Meanwhile, I'm over here collecting waifus and avoiding eye contact with real women. At least anime girls don't break your heart or steal your french fries when you're not looking. Nicole keeps asking why I don't go outside during daylight hours. Bro, I have 17 anime to finish this season, and Crunchyroll doesn't watch itself. Real world is overrated anyway. Everyone out there looks like NPCs. My room is basically a shrine to best girls from every series imaginable. Asuka poster staring down at me with that smug expression she perfected. She gets me more than any normie ever could or would want to. Nicole walks in one day while I'm having heated philosophical argument with my Rem figurine, discussing who's actually better waifu between her and Amelia for the 1000th time. Anon, are you okay? You've been talking to plastic for over an hour now. Explain to her that Rem isn't plastic. She's premium PVC and limited edition. Thank you very much. Also explain that she has more personality than most people I've encountered in real life. Nicole gives me that look therapists give when they smell potential case study material, that feel when your roommate thinks your hobbies are mental illness. Have you considered that your attachment to fictional characters might be psychologically unhealthy? Tell her my figurine collection is infinitely more stable than her entire dating history. She's been through more guys than I've been through boxes of tissues during sad anime episodes. Nicole gets that fake concerned expression and starts taking mental notes. My face when she pulls out actual notepad to write down my responses. Next week. Notice Nicole setting up expensive camera equipment in our shared living room. Oh, I'm starting a mental health awareness podcast. It's called Living with Dysfunction. Weird name, but whatever support your entrepreneurial dreams, I guess. Starts asking me really specific and invasive questions about my daily routine. So Anon, tell me about your relationship with reality and social interaction. Bro, why does everyone want to psychoanalyze my perfectly valid lifestyle choices? Explain that reality is trash tier, writing an anime provides superior character development. Also mention that fictional characters have consistent personalities unlike real people. Nicole nods enthusiastically and scribbles notes like she's documenting a new species discovery. Week later, she's recording episodes every single day in the living room. Can hear her through these paper-thin apartment walls talking about my fascinating case study. Starts describing someone who sounds suspiciously identical to me in every detail. Subject refuses to engage with romantic relationships, preferring fictional alternatives. Displays concerning emotional attachment to animated characters and collectible figurines. Diet consists primarily of energy drinks, ramen noodles, and what appears to be pure sadness. Spends majority of time in darkened room, watching cartoons and avoiding human contact. Wait, just a dang minute. This sounds extremely familiar. Storm into living room, mid-recording session, interrupting her flow. Nicole, are you seriously talking about me on your stupid psychology podcast? She pauses recording and gives me that fake, innocent smile she practiced in mirror. Anon, this is completely anonymous content. I would never violate your privacy like that. You literally just described my entire Evangelion marathon weekend in excruciating detail. That could be absolutely anyone, Anon. You're being paranoid and self-centered. You mentioned my Speedwagon body pillow by its actual government name. Lots of people have Speedwagon body pillows, Anon. It's not that specific. That feel when your roommate gaslights you about your own life being content. Nicole's podcast starts gaining serious traction on multiple platforms simultaneously. Overhear her on phone calls with some hotshot producer guy from California. Yeah, he's like a living, breathing meme. It's absolutely incredible content gold. He unironically believes anime girls are genuinely superior to real people in every way. Yesterday, he literally cried because his favorite character got written out of the series. That was a private, emotional moment between me and Asuka after brutal character development. Start hearing Nicole's friends coming over way more often than before. They're all wannabe influencer types with ring lights and manufactured empathy. Keep staring at me like I'm some kind of exotic zoo exhibit. One of them directly asks if I'm the famous podcast guy everyone's talking about. Nicole quickly changes subject, but the damage is already completely done. My face when I realize I'm internet famous for being pathetic. Check out her podcast out of morbid curiosity and immediate regret. Episode titles include gems like When Waifus Replace Reality and The Incel Next Door Chronicles. She's literally built her entire personal brand around monetizing my clinical depression. Comments section is absolutely brutal and filled with armchair psychologists. Oh my god, your roommate sounds like a walking Reddit post come to life. Please tell me you're getting this poor man professional help immediately. This is exactly what happens when men choose pixels over people consistently. I feel bad for laughing, but this is prime content material. My autistic meltdowns are now entertainment for normies with too much free time. Confront Nicole again with evidence of her exploitation. You're literally profiting off my mental. Health issues for internet fame. Anon, you're being unnecessarily dramatic. It's educational content that helps people. Educational about how pathetic and lonely I am. Well, Anon, if the limited edition figurine fits, then wear it proudly. She really just roasted me using my own lifestyle choices against me. Decide to get proper revenge through psychological warfare. Start my own competing podcast called Living with a Psychology Major. Describe Nicole's dating disasters in excruciating and painful detail every episode. Subject believes she can fix emotionally damaged men through positive affirmations and crystals. Last boyfriend left her for someone who doesn't constantly try to analyze his breathing patterns. Diet consists entirely of overpriced kombucha and unearned superiority complex. Claims to understand human psychology, but can't figure out why men ghost her. Nicole discovers my podcast after exactly 2 episodes go viral, bursts into my room while I'm mid-recording, interrupting my flow. Anon, what the absolute hell is this supposed to be? Anonymous educational content, Nicole, just exactly like yours. You can't do this. It's a complete invasion of my privacy. Weird how privacy suddenly matters when it's your life being dissected publicly. She threatens to kick me out of the apartment immediately. Reminder that my anime collection takes up 40% of available space. Good luck explaining that massive otaku shrine to your next potential roommate. Also point out that her podcast success is entirely dependent on my dysfunction. Without me, you're just another basic psychology major with a microphone and delusions. Nicole realizes I'm completely right and her brand depends on me. Her audience is exclusively here for the train wreck. Roommate content, not her insights. We reach an uneasy business truce after tense negotiations. She continues exploiting my depression for viral content creation. I continue providing premium material by being a walking disaster daily. At least now I get 20% of the podcast revenue stream. Use money exclusively to buy more figurines and limited edition merchandise. Nicole adds new episode called Monetizing Mental Health, an Ethical Dilemma. The irony is completely lost on her psychology major brain. Meanwhile, I'm just vibing peacefully with my collection of best girls. Asuka never judges my questionable life choices or eating habits. Rem never turns my personal struggles into monetized content for strangers. Figurines understand that sometimes you want to eat cereal at 3 a.m. without analysis. Miku doesn't care if I haven't showered in 3 days during anime marathons. Nicole starts bringing potential dates home, specifically to show off her fascinating roommate. They always want to meet the infamous guy from the popular podcast. Become unwilling tourist attraction at Nicole's dinner parties and social gatherings. Oh my god. Your podcast, Anon, can you say something quirky for us? Refuse to perform my depression for their shallow entertainment value. Lock myself in room and binge. Love live instead, because those girls appreciate devotion. At least Honoka never asked me to dance for strangers' amusement. That feel when your depression becomes dinner party entertainment. Nicole knocks on a door later that evening, looking frustrated. Anon, my date, thinks you're completely faking it for attention and clout. Good, maybe now you'll stop treating me like a content creation machine. But Anon, this is my big break. I'm getting sponsored by BetterHelp next month. Congratulations on successfully monetizing my mental illness. Nicole, very feminist of you. She goes completely quiet for first time in months. Think maybe she finally feels some guilt about exploitation. Next episode is called Dealing with Hostile and Uncooperative Subjects. Describes me as resistant to help and aggressively defensive about criticism. Nicole has absolutely zero self-awareness about her own behavior patterns. Major plot twist, she starts dating some podcast producer guy from her network. Suddenly her content shifts dramatically to finding love while living with dysfunction. My depression becomes mere backdrop for her romantic character development arc. They have cute aesthetic dates while I'm crying over seasonal anime endings alone. Producer guy suggests transitioning to video content for better monetization. Nicole starts secretly filming my daily routine without any permission whatsoever. Catch her recording me, having passionate debate with my guts figurine about berserk plot holes. Nicole, delete that footage right this second or face consequences. But Anon, this is absolute gold content. Your audience would totally love it. My audience? What audience? I never consented to having a public audience. Everyone loves an authentic, unfiltered look at modern masculinity. Anon. I'm not representing masculinity. I'm just depressed and like anime. That's exactly what makes it so relatable and shareable content. Nicole posts the video anyway, without my consent or approval, goes absolutely viral across multiple social media platforms overnight. Suddenly, I'm internet famous for all the wrong possible reasons. People making endless memes about my figurine collection and lifestyle. Someone creates compilation video of my best autistic moments for views. Another person makes remix of me arguing with figurines set to dubstep. My face when I become a meme template for depression and social anxiety. Nicole is absolutely loving all the attention and engagement metrics. Books us on some national podcast tour without consulting me first. We're going to be traveling mental health advocates. Anon, isn't that exciting? Nicole, I just want to watch anime in peace without cameras. But think of all the struggling people we could potentially help. You mean all the people who could laugh at my expense? Refuse to participate in her exploitative media circus tour. She goes alone and talks extensively about managing difficult roommate relationships. Becomes minor internet celebrity, while I remain hidden in room like hikikomori. Starts getting invited to psychology conferences as expert on digital age relationships. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to finish my seasonal anime backlog in peace. At least my wife, who's never betrayed my trust for followers and sponsorship deals. Nicole eventually moves out to live with producer boyfriend in fancy apartment. Leaves me with viral internet reputation and severe trust issues. Apartment feels strangely empty without constant psychological evaluation and judgment. Weird how I actually miss having someone document my dysfunction regularly. Start making my own authentic content about living with former psychology major roommate. Turns out my unfiltered perspective is genuinely entertaining to certain demographics. Build small but incredibly dedicated following of fellow anime enthusiasts and outcasts. We discuss the obvious superiority of fictional relationships over exploitative real ones. Create safe space for people who understand that waifus provide emotional stability. Nicole occasionally comments on my videos with fake supportive messages. So glad to see you're finally processing your emotions in a healthy way, Anon. Reply exclusively with Speedwagon quotes about true friendship and loyalty. My audience immediately gets the reference while she remains completely clueless. Proves definitively that anime characters really do understand me better than anyone. Important life lesson permanently learned through painful experience. Never trust psychology majors with your depression or personal information. They'll inevitably turn your mental health into their personal brand building opportunity. Stick exclusively with anime girls. They'll never monetize your trauma for content creation. Asuka's still looking down at me from her poster with that knowing expression. At least she's completely honest about being emotionally unavailable from the start. That feel when fictional characters are more trustworthy than real people. Nicole texts me occasionally asking how I'm doing for potential content updates. Ignore her messages and continue living my best life with my figurine collection. Recently bought new Megumin figure, and she doesn't judge my financial decisions. Real friends don't exploit your mental illness for podcast fame and sponsorship money. Learn that anime girls are superior because they can't betray your trust for internet clout. My face. When your biggest life lesson comes from a psychology major exploiting your depression. Still, check Nicole's podcast sometimes to see if she mentions me. Latest episodes are all about her perfect relationship with producer boyfriend. Conveniently forgot to mention how she built her platform on my mental breakdowns, whatever. At least I have my figurines and they never judge my poor life choices.